Do you ever replay a conversation in your head hours later or days later and suddenly start analyzing everything you said? Because I do that probably more than I should. Sometimes I'll just be going about my day and my brain will randomly decide to bring something up I said earlier, way earlier, even years earlier. And then I start wondering, did that sound weird? Did it sound rude? Why'd I say it like that? And sometimes when I replay the conversation, I start to feel like I sounded ridiculous. Like somehow the version of the conversation in my memory becomes worse than it probably actually was. Or sometimes I imagine it went better than it really did. It's like my brain starts editing the conversation after the fact. And then I'll suddenly think of the perfect thing I should have said. You know, something that would have made the conversation funnier or smoother or clearer. Except now, the conversation's ended 3 hours ago or 4 days ago. So, not very helpful. And what's funny is that the more I replay it, the more dramatic it becomes in my head. Sometimes way worse. Something that was probably just a normal interaction starts to feel like a full on analysis, play by play, like my tone or my timing or these facial expressions that I know I make. All of it. Meanwhile, the other person has probably moved on, hasn't thought about it once. And I'm over here full on reviewing game footage of my life, trying to figure out if I handled it correctly. And it makes me wonder, why do our brains do that? Why do we go back and pick apart things that are already over, especially when most conversations are just normal? They happen and then people move on. Maybe it's just how our minds make sense of things, or we're just harder on ourselves than we need to be. That's probably it. Either way, seems like very human trait because I know I can't be the only one who does this. Do you ever replay conversations in your head later? Like way later? I'm talking even years later. And when you do you remember it to be worse or better than it was? If you feel like sharing, I'd love to hear. And please click subscribe if you like having these conversations. Thanks for listening.